All right, next thing on approval of board meeting minutes for December 18th, 2024.
I make a motion that we approve the next for December 18th, 2024.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the board meeting minutes from December 18th, 2024. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Approval of meeting agenda.
I'll move for the approval of meeting agenda.
Are there any changes?
There's no changes.
I'll second the approval of the meeting agenda. It's been moved and seconded to approve the meeting agenda. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Consent agenda.
I mean-
I move for the approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Discussion items, district administration award.
The last month, we got nominated for District Administration Magazine, District of Distinction. For the design of the Elma Innovation Academy, in which it takes mastery-based learning and binds it with the design of the career pathways. And this was a design that Christy's been working through with Tyler and James Flerbo, Tyler Redds and James Flerbo. And as a surprise, we flew down, we knew we were flying down to get recognized, so we took a red eye down, went to the recognition, and we won. So Elma School District was selected by District Administration Magazine, which is the major publication for school superintendents and administrators, on the best career pathway design program in the country. So I'd like to take a moment to kind of turn it over to Chrissy to talk about James and Tyler. And then James and Tyler, then we have things to kind of show and share and celebrate our teachers and the work and our administrators and the work they've done.
Thank you. I would be happy to and delighted to talk about Tyler and James. I think they were a little worried about coming here, but the reality, you didn't know.
They were good to be invited to a school board.
Um, Yeah, I think what is awesome about this is that I think you guys already understand that through career and technical education, we work with industry partners, we have advisory committee. We have a community and industry partners that have really helped us with this vision. And this has been a long time in the making. And it's one of those things that I ask staff and I even ask our advisory, it's like, if there was time and money was not an issue, what's your dream? What do we need to do? And the idea of apprenticeships was thrown out there and I kind of laughed, that was 10 years ago. And then we started looking at, career pathways and then when we brought in Chris Nesmith for superintendent, there's a lot of things that started coming together. And I think it's those rich conversations. So first and foremost, I want to thank the school board for supporting us and CTE for quite some time. I also want to thank our community and industry partners because that's been a huge lift of what they do to support this, because they take a big risk on this too. And so I really want to appreciate them. But for first and foremost, I also want to appreciate our teachers. One of the things we have, I get to say that Tyler's a little long in the tooth and that James is not. And I think this is really a wonderful opportunity to showcase what it takes for our educators. Tyler's been here with the district for 10 plus years, came here, student taught, worked with Dave Rutherford, saw a different vision. Dave was kind of part of that conversation, worked with Chris Henry, that was part of that conversation. But one of the things that I can always say with Tyler, it's like, okay, we're writing grants. What equipment do we need if we're going to fulfill these kind of dreams and promises? And he did the research, he did the legwork, he did the education, the trainings. It's a huge lift, and it's not just looking for this equipment, but it's also getting trained, but also getting it wired and electrical. That's wonderful and fun. Getting it, offloaded from the semi. We had, again, industry partners that helped us with that. But I can't tell you enough how amazing Tyler is as his intellectual, his intelligence, his ability to research and see the big picture, and then bring that perspective for our students. And that's he's a rare jewel in that. And so I know he's laughing, but it really is true, and I mean that really, really sincerely. So this is amazing. And then we have James Polarico, whose student taught with us last year. He's been working with our ag program for the past few years, working through WSU and the ag education program. And first, I wanted to say he has grown immensely. Coming in from Aberdeen, that we had a different program that was multi-factor. And so he really learned a lot through that and really just embraced it all, which we threw everything at him. And then we hired him and we asked him to do a task for a new teacher that is pretty hard to do. Having the same 25 students for almost 3 hours. You know, and you're mixing that with classroom management, you're mixing that with a new teacher who's got to figure out how to teach everything and learn the curriculum and then still implement that in everything. And that is a huge lift, huge lift. I know not everyone's been a teacher, but your first 5 years of teaching is wow. And a lot of times you don't even remember it and don't even use the same stuff. So anyway, James has really stepped into this role, has done amazing, reorganized our construction lab, really embraced the natural resources, really did a lot of trainings over the summer, and has a vision and an understanding of how to do that. And then first and foremost, how to work with students and how to work with different students. And so huge lift, and he's doing a wonderful job. And so I couldn't ask for a better team to start off this career pathway that we've incorporated into a comprehensive high school.
With that, we brought in, we made, for James Tyler. The award recognition on it, so it is for the district of distinction. Congrats, don't go anywhere. I also brought you copies of the press release that's put out by DA Magazine. And then they will be coming out for their April magazine release. Prior to April, they will be doing a multi-page article. They said their plan is for the April edition, it could be the June edition. So either the April or June edition, a multi-page article on your program. And then last, this goes to the district, but I feel like you should have an opportunity to.
I know that.
I will let you know, when you go through the airport security, this comes up as platinum. So there's this, and then to hang up in our district as the top school district by DA Magazine, or district in the nation. You guys gotta go, she's gotta get a photo.
Yep.
Top district in the nation for DA Magazine.
Thank you.
You guys, now I just wanna know this, I had to take a red eye down, so I was wearing the same clothes I was wearing Tuesday morning when I got there Wednesday. Like noon. Then at 7, so then the thing started, then I found out we won, and then they said you had to give a speech. So you don't have to say a whole lot, but if there's anything you wanna say, I just want you to know, I had 36 hours no sleep and I was wearing yesterday's clothes.
Been there. No, I think that, I hope I'm not speaking for James, but, I'm excited about this program. I think that it has been a long time coming. I'm excited for the possibilities that can come out of this program. I'm really excited for its future involvement and in conjunction with our apprenticeship program. I like the fact that, honestly, I like the 3 hours. I will say, for me as a teacher, going from a 50-minute period to a 3-hour period, initially I was like, man, that's gonna be rough. It's gonna be hard to feel. And it's not. It's amazing that you can start a lab and finish it in the same day. That is insane. And the fact that you can just move on to the next. And you know, there's always plenty of time. And so a project that I did with my other ag class, I've done it multiple years, usually takes about a week and a half to 2 weeks with a 50-minute period. We got it done in 2 days. And I was like, well, there goes the rest of the week. Okay, so it's been a lot of pivoting. You know, we're definitely building the plane well into the air. You know, and we've had growing pains. I mean, I don't want to say it's all sunshine and roses. The kids, I think, honestly, probably had the biggest adjustment. And I would say it's really not, I think, program related, interpersonal skills. You know, when you're used to being with someone just an hour a day and then you go on and now you're with a whole new group of people and now you're with people 6 hours a day. You know, we had some issues and I would say we're at a point now, we haven't had a terrible amount of those issues of late, so they've kind of figured it out. We're getting in the swing of things. And they're doing good work. You know, it's still like any class, you got some that are gonna go above and beyond, you got some that you're gonna just drag them along at times and get them to do something, and then all of a sudden they make that little breakthrough and then they're off, and you got another one. So it's an awesome program. I like it. I like the fact that we can do a lot of things with it. You know, just what the coolest thing I think is taking a field trip, you know, as long as funding and everything's available, is fairly easy because it's half of both of our days. So we only have to get one sub to cover the other half, and we get to take that whole group and we get to go experience a lot of things. So we got a lot more field trips and things like that, industry tours that we want to take them on and get them involved with that we just wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So we appreciate your guys' support and your help in getting this started. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. We're excited too, and thank you so much for your dedication, your heavy lift in the program. It's really exciting. It's awesome to see it come together.
Can I say one more thing though, because I have two people that I think also need some attaboys, and that is Crystal Stanley and Tim Lizelle.
Yes.
These four team together, and Crystal and Tim help us in the in-between times of what we call
Essential skills.
Thank you, essential skills. And they're working with the math and the ELA, any accommodations that we need to make with our students. We can do some pullouts with them also. And they have really embraced that and really have, I mean, we've had some really great conversations and we see how we need to improve things. We're looking at some team teaching with some of these concepts. So it's really, I mean, it's just only begun. We know it's only gonna improve, but we do have growing pains, but we're working through it, I think, very well.
Yeah, I mean, this program, just one last little thing. I kind of started maybe a slight funny, no, it's really funny. We got a kid that everyone jokes that he's an android. And he plays along with it and he loves it. And so they have decided that he is an android and he obviously is like, no, I'm not. And so they decided, well, we want to try it. We said, okay. So me and Tim and James, we're gonna work together and we're gonna do a mock trial. And we're going to decide if our student is an android or not. And so they're all sorts of excited. They're like, oh, I'm gonna be the prosecutor, and you know, I wanna be on the jury. And so they're gonna learn a lot more than they think out of it. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. And it's just real cool because with 3 hours of time or even like we've done things where like they're over in his area in my prep and it's like, oh, do I need to come over and help, with something? It's just kind of the world's our oyster at this point with it, and we can do a lot of really cool things that we just normally don't have time for.
And essentially, they're creating their own company. And their policies of how that company runs.
Some real life skill stuff.
Yep.
We are not on the agenda for this because we got the announcement after the agenda went out. But as we're talking about how the program design incorporates academic skills and builds towards our apprenticeship, do you want to say 2 minutes on our new announcement?
We're starting the nursing assistant training program, and we're accepting applications right now. Board of Nursing, we are gonna be one of 2 test pilots that the legislation tasks the Board of Nursing with. So Southern Pacific is a huge partner, put a lot of work into this. And so we're hoping to have 8 students in the program this second semester.
We have plans to.
I got $100,000 grant and Eagle, the Elma Flight Foundation is supporting funds to buy the scrubs for the students, so we're off and running.
Sweet.
What was the other district that?
Not sure, they were supposed to choose one from the west side and one from the east side, and I have not heard, they haven't said it all, so I think we're the only one right now.
Okay.
Don't quote me. But. So. And we will be letting, I know legislators will be coming and looking at this, so we'll make sure.
It's pretty exciting stuff. It's really exciting, more than pretty exciting. It's amazing. So thank you so much.
And I think Christy, something you said is so important to remind ourselves. Is this is all part of conversations that was happening a decade ago. You know, and I love the part about money wasn't an option. What would we do in dream big? I'm reminded frequently that while there is financial limitations, there's also a lot of options if we take off kind of our own poverty mentality sometimes and don't let that be what holds us back to dreaming big. But just relationally, what you guys have done to, I think as a district, to build, so when an opportunity could be made, we could just pursue the opportunity, not the relationships. Those were already in place. So thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Public comment? No public comment. Unfinished, excuse me, unfinished business. Discussion and approval of policy 4215, use of tobacco, nicotine products and delivery devices.
Really slow down.
Whole 500. So it looks like the law changed though.
Yeah.
So we don't really.
Well, the interesting thing is, and I have it here, I actually pulled up Senate Bill 6328. It actually was enacted in 2016, so it took obviously a while for WASDA to come around. It was the original act of smoking near, certain structures and buildings.
But they actually never updated the RCW, so,
Okay, so that's probably,
yeah, that the RCW just
Remains.
says it can't be on school grounds.
yeah,
But, and then this is for vape, vape delivery devices of the 500 feet, which a lot of times legislature doesn't always think how
how it's gonna work out.
yeah, how you're going to enact and,
What I'm
it
sure,
is in the ESSB 632.
yeah, the ESP 28, yeah, I kind of read through it a little bit and then it goes through like the stuff that they added on it. Oh, if it ever scrolls down to where I want it to, yeah, they added child care facilities, schools within 500 feet of schools, school buses, elevators and playgrounds. The use of vapor products is prohibited within these areas, and that's what they added, and that's where this comes from. And I know our discussion last time was how do we enforce that, and then I spent some time kind of thinking about that. I don't think it's necessarily us enforcing it as much as it is if some sort of issue came up, we have it in there, right? Like if somebody got in trouble off campus and they're like, well, you were within 500 feet of the school, the district's in alignment with the state law. That's
Just so
kind of how
long
I
as-
thought about it instead of the enforcement.
Just so long as we don't own the
Correct.
responsibility.
I don't, yeah, it doesn't look like we own the responsibility, so.
Yeah, I think you're right, Michael, we're not condoning this, use of that within 500 feet of school.
Sure.
It's in our policies, but
But our ability to regulate it is limited.
correct.
But
Yeah.
we could still take that position, posturing position.
Correct,
I do not
yeah.
believe it's.
Especially if there's a disciplinary thing, right, that happened and then in court, all of a sudden they're like, well, look, you were within 500 feet of school, you were also in violation of RCW, whatever, it's in alignment with school policy. Right, so that's where it probably can pop up, I don't know.
There wasn't a lot of language saying the school will take these measures. Like, yeah. As long as we don't. On that.
I'll move for the approval of policy 4215, use of tobacco nicotine products, and delivery devices first reading.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded to approve policy 4215, use of tobacco, nicotine products and delivery devices first reading. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, next on the list, approval of policy 4235, public performances second.
That one's pretty simple, change from shalls to will.
Five, performances, second.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve policy 4235 public performances, second reading. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Alright,
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Discussion and approval of policy 4265 community education program, first reading.
Built off of the RCW 28A620010 on just aligning it on districts are encouraged to run parenting classes for prospective parents, foster parents, adoptive parents on parenting skills violence. So just kind of adding in that additional language of that encouragement of running parent courses.
Did you read the RCWs a little bit? Because they kind of answered your
Yeah.
question a little bit about the verbiage.
The
that
verbiage
they
of the-
used. I
Because
think it's a
it's
soft,
the
it's,
description of the.
it's softer in here than I think it is
Yeah.
in the Boston policy.
Yes. And I think really this is the extension of it,
Yes.
because there's already a policy to offer parent education.
Right, and
This
it's
is now-
fairly, yeah, because it goes on to say parenting skills shall
Yeah.
include, and then they have a whole gamut of stuff inside the RCW, so.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's something, you know,
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to approve, policy 4265 community education program. I'll second that first.
it's been moved and seconded to approve policy 4265 community education program, first reading. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, new business, approval of EAA CBA for 2024-26, and it looks like we have the. Did I say that right? Yeah,
That sounds weird.
it does. Looks like the red line is in there. Or blue line.
This goes blue.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing is the actual document says 22-24 inside the actual agreement, and it's not blue line. I'm assuming that's going to change.
Probably you mean in the,
From last time?
Yeah, the header, the very header says between us and, between
Yeah,
admin
yeah.
and school district 22-24.
Yeah, and in their corner, it showed their agreed contract from 22-24.
It doesn't update the actual date.
Even under the conditions of.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
that'll have it, dates updated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody was just waiting for something. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the EACBA for 24-26.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the EAA CBA for 24-26. Is there any discussion?
I will not, I don't need to explain.
Oh.
Correct, no, you do.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably do.
I was-
Do you need to, okay, sorry. I need to abstain.
Thank you, duly noted.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. And we're in discussion. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Didn't say. All right, reports, go to order. Start with Chris.
Well, we have basketball right after this board meeting. So, that's gonna be, and then on Friday, we have our Hall of Fame inductees at the girls' day. So 6:30 PM. So we would encourage everybody to come and be in attendance.
We've been nominating Jamie Cricket.
Anybody else have anything?
I do.
Go.
My son, who is just about this week finishing his apprenticeship through the automated machine technology through the high school from last year when he graduated this last season. And was officially offered his full-time permanent job at Vaughn.
Awesome. Congratulations.
I'll attend the Boston Legislative Conference this weekend, well, so, but, so we'll be hearing the legislative agenda, financial priorities. I'll let you know what we learn.
Hopefully lots about giving us money
Money.
for facilities and everything else that we have on our wish list.
Okay, send your list, I'll make sure I pass it along.
Anything else? I just want to thank everybody for having a first great, hopefully great week back. I know it's kind of rough to get into things coming back. It was rough for me on Monday. It was all week was Mondays. So it's still Monday, yeah, it's still Monday. And let's look forward to a great 2025. I think we have a lot of great things to look forward to and a lot of accomplishments to feel good about. So just keep building on that and move forward.
With that, we'll move into a work study session. We have tonight, our agenda is to focus on kids for the high school, and we wanted to do it under a work study where the students were more in a position to, instead of just present, but also have a conversation with the board with what they would like for their school.
Alright.
Fabulous, welcome.
Is this portion we're going offline for?
Yeah, we don't come off Zoom for the work study sessions because it's hard to have that camera on.
And then we'll come back to adjourn?
Yep.
Okay,